Sidharth. How are you doing today?
Hello, very good, thank you.
You're welcome. You're looking fantastic.
Lovely, thank you. Yeah, you just stole my style, yeah, the same t-shirt. What's with that? Yeah, same designer, same stylist. God, I have competition now on stage, huh?
Looking good, looking good.
Wait, I'll get back to you
Awesome.
now.
So we all are here today to be a part of the unveiling of the Tourism New Zealand's new marketing campaign for 100% Pure New Zealand. I now request Mr. Stephen Dixon to please say a few words about the campaign.
Thank you. Kia ora. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Hello, everybody. Kia ora, Sid.
Kia ora.
Sidharth, very good to see you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving up part of your day to join us here. We're really excited. Hello? Is that better? Can you hear me?
Oh, they're talking about the lights.
Yeah, you have lights.
I thought you said mic. Sorry, the lights. Sorry, right. Back to the start. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Stephen Dixon. I'm the Regional Manager for Tourism New Zealand. I look after Southeast Asia. And I'm really excited to be here today to talk about Sidharth's second trip down to New Zealand. We're going to share with you the amazing video content from that trip. We're also going to unveil our new 100% Pure brand campaign, Every Day a Different Journey, which will start on the 1st of February. So I thought that I would just kick off by talking a little bit about our brand, Tourism New Zealand, which is 100% Pure New Zealand. It's a campaign that's been running for 17 years. It's the oldest destination campaign in the world. We would like to say it's the most successful, but we're not biased. And really, the 1st of February is where we will use the assets from Sidharth's visit down to New Zealand to launch our new campaign. We will execute the campaign in this market, predominantly through digital channels, through our global partnerships with Facebook and with Google. And we're really excited about that. And look, it's a good news story for New Zealand tourism at this stage. There's never been more people coming to New Zealand on holiday. We had around about 3.4 million international visitors coming to New Zealand, which is an amazing number for a small country like New Zealand. That's the most amount. That's 11% up on last year, which was also our biggest year. It's a huge driver of New Zealand's economy. Around about $14.5 billion goes into the New Zealand economy. It's our biggest foreign export earner. So we're really happy with the progress. And look, India is absolutely a key market for us within our portfolio of markets. It's a source market for us. It's within our top 10 markets. And recently we reached over 50,000 arrivals. So for us, that's the most amount of Indians that have come to New Zealand ever in history. So we're really excited about that. And we know that Sidharth's association with the brand has an absolutely massive impact in this market and encouraging lots of Indians to come to New Zealand. The last time Sidharth went down to New Zealand, it generated over 1,000 unique articles and certainly encouraged people to either come to New Zealand or have New Zealand as their preferred destination should they decide to come down. So we're really excited. So for us to have the opportunity to continue to work with Sidharth and to have him back down in New Zealand was what we say in New Zealand, a no-brainer. Sidharth is part of our family, part of the global Tourism New Zealand family, but also part of New Zealand. He's very much loved in New Zealand wherever he goes. So today I realize that you're not here to listen or to look at me. Clearly all the cameras are pointing the other way. So I won't keep talking for too much longer. But before I hand it over to the man in the spotlight, I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to just recap and have a look at Sidharth's amazing trip down to New Zealand and all of the fun, exciting things that he had to do, all the humour that he had with the New Zealand locals, and to experience part of the culture, which for us is absolutely everything what a New Zealand holiday is about. So without further ado, I think we might roll to the video.
got the video.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Lights. They're waiting for lights first. Okay, I think that's enough light. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I think some amazing memories have come back from my second trip this year around. And as he said, this is not my first trip to New Zealand. Very excited to be a part of the same campaign, which I really believe in, which I enjoy, which is 100% pure New Zealand. And right here, I think this is the easiest trip that I had to make because this was they didn't have to convince me at all. I was happy, really happy and excited to go once again. And I think first of all, just to say, the reason I'm here first is not purely talking about a particular, say, country. I think first of all, just to say how in our upbringing and everybody else, who's born and brought up in India, how important it is to travel. I think travel is travel is the first thing that makes you richer. It's the only experience that can make you grow. And I endorse that, and I feel all of us around here need to first get out and experience things and travel. And now if you're looking for a place, New Zealand is the best place to go, where you get everything possible. Yeah, so it's very difficult for me to pick my most, say, favorite place, most exciting activity. I think बहुत कुछ करा है इस नए trip पे. I met some interesting people, very, very exciting people, as you can see in the video. As soon as I landed, there were kids who were performing on my songs. There were Brendan and Stephen who came there to receive me. Extremely warm, extremely excited again to host you and take you around their country and city. I went to Christchurch for the first time. I went to Rotorua for the first time. I met, which I'm a big fan of, is the New Zealand All Blacks, Richie McCaw, who's one of their legendary rugby players. And he's given up, sadly he's given up rugby though. He's flying helicopters now. And he's very passionate about it. So it's very good to take a trip with him. And do some rugby, throwing some ball around with him. And loads, yeah, I saw so many more things. There were we cooked a meal at the Natural Geezers, which was like a hot pool outside. It was amazing to cook.
What type of ingredients did you have in the food?
We had a wide variety from fish to vegetables. And it was pretty cool to actually see that it's a natural hot geyser. Which is, I don't know how many degrees Celsius, it's pretty hot to cook something.
It's hot.
Yeah,
it's hot degrees.
And it was exciting to just dip your food in. It was like, ab dubki marte to boil hoke bahar nikalta hai. And we were eating it outside, so it saves electricity. It's natural. So I think all these interesting things that just make you, experience new things, always add to you. And that's what I think I have to thank New Zealand first, that they've added so much to me. And my personality and my headspace with these two trips. So thank you guys for having me second year around.
No problem.
And thank you for all the wonderful experiences. And looking forward to go maybe many, many more times.
Yeah, thank you. Sidharth, I am interested to know a little more about some of the people that you met when you were down in New Zealand. You mentioned Stephen and Brendan. If you could just sort of elaborate a little bit more on who those people are. I'm sure the audience already knows who they are, but...
In India, I don't think they need an introduction,
the types
Stephen
of
and Brendan.
activities.
But if I had to just take, as soon as I think about those boys, I think they remind me of like how every team is. Like, you go back to your school days, they pull each other's legs. They're extremely sporting, very informative about, their homeland. And we played cricket at the Oval Ground, which was exciting, which is where the opening of the World Cup had happened. So I was there, luckily. And then I took those guys on a bike ride, on a Harley Davidson bike ride, which was very exciting once again. And I got a bat from Brendan. He was sweet enough to give me a bat, which has a very cool name on it, which is, it's an interesting story. Brendan's very fond of horses. So Brendan has names his bat according to his favorite horses. So I have a specially signed bat from Brendan, which has his horse's name actually. Loads and loads of memories with those boys, and hopefully I get to see them again.
Wonderful. And how about some of the adventure activities that you did down when you were in New Zealand this time?
For me, this time, which was very thrilling and exciting, was zip lining. We went to the forest and we zip lined about 7 different zips and zip lines, and each of them had a different angle, a different length, and different speed to it. The longest one was, I think, goes on for about 30 seconds and you go 50 kilometers an hour, which is about 10 stories high in the forest from one tree to the other. And yeah, it was exciting. It's very exciting to just look down and see the forest and you're zipping through. And there's not only one, there's 7 of them. And it's a forest which is reserved, by the government. It's a forest that is preserved naturally, which is great. I think New Zealand has immense amount of respect for their environment, which is something that I feel we can learn also. So yeah, I think it was a complete and exciting experience.
Wonderful. Well, I know that everybody that was on the trip with you had an amazing time. And
I had a great team once again. Some of them are right here. So thank you, Carol, for taking me around everywhere for all those lunches and diet food. And yeah, hope to take you around in India now.
thank you.